Kev, let's talk Palantir, PLTR. This has been one of the big-time movers of the last, I don't know how many months, but let's call it 12. But it's going the wrong direction as it pushes back towards 100. But this was like a $50 stock, I don't even know how long ago.
Palantir's stock is crashing, but is this a golden opportunity? Let's dive in. Check this video out.
Yeah, this pullback is, if you kind of look at it from yesterday, 14% move on an intraday basis, and then another 4% down. And then the after hours, it seems a little bit aggressive. But once again, as you kind of see, the gains for the stock over the last year or so have been very healthy. And in fact, it's kind of actually hitting a key area of support here where it has a gap. So let's see if it's going to be able to hold up. It seems like it is trying to claw back some of the losses here today. It is down about 8%, but off of the lows of around $95.80. Now, obviously, this is coming off of the announcement yesterday, two announcements actually. The first one that I think really hit the stock, and you can see that across multiple companies within the defense space or that have exposure to defense contracts. The Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth ordered an 8% annual cut of defense budgets over the next 5 years here. So there are some exemptions that are in place, but obviously the market is a little bit concerned that this could actually impact their revenue flow over the next couple of years here. And then there was also a report that CEO Alex Karp actually does plan on selling around $1.2 billion worth of shares, which is once again putting a little bit of pressure. So unfortunately, it was just a bad day when it comes to news for Palantir. But once again, it's kind of holding up, and it's already had some really decent gains. A pullback probably would be warranted here for a lot of traders that might have missed out on the initial run-up.
A short-term dip doesn't change Palantir's long-term trajectory. The company has established itself as a leader in AI and defense, and fluctuations based on temporary news cycles don't define its potential. While traders may react to headlines, institutional investors and long-term holders will be watching the broader trend. Palantir's value is built on innovation, not daily price swings.
So I'm glad you brought up the point, KG, about the defense budget. Now, you can see why it would impact Palantir, given that, it's a big part of its contracts. It has major contracts with the Defense Department, but it's been expanding in the commercial space, and that's where you've seen greater growth. Wedbush, Dan Ives argues, which we know he is, for the record, he is a big bull around Palantir. He says they could actually see increased IT spending from the Pentagon. What's your view on that? Is it a real threat, the pullback that we heard about, to be coming from the government and defense spending?
Yeah, I mean, it could be a real threat, but if you kind of look at the initiatives that the Trump administration has been trying to establish here, especially with the help of Elon Musk, kind of looking more towards technology and efficiency areas within the federal government. And that's really where Palantir serves. And so Dan Ives is kind of the notion, and I kind of agree with him in some respects, that at the end of the day, are you going to really stop this, the consolidation of artificial intelligence platforms, as well as consolidating just services in general for the federal government, which we're already seeing a fair amount of aggressive spending there? I think that's really the big question mark, and we're probably not going to get any type of read-through of that until we have Palantir earnings coming around again. Maybe they do have a conversation when it comes to the U.S. government, but once again, when you're looking at some of the areas that are being cut, could they be in the crosshairs? Yes, but at the end of the day, it seems like it would be counterintuitive compared to some of the initiatives that the Trump administration wants to pull off. Now, the commercial side of the equation is really healthy right now. I mean, quarter over quarter increases of around 20%, 25% when it comes to new customers to the platform is remarkable. So if they can continue to keep up with that type of pace, it'll actually dilute the amount of impact that government contracts will have on their business over the long term. And it just kind of depends on your time frame as to when you're looking at the stock. If you're looking at for the next 10, 15, 20 years, this might be a blip on the radar. If you're looking at over the next 3 months or 6 months, this could be a little bit of a hiccup.
While concerns about defense spending cuts are valid, Palantir's diversification into commercial contracts is a strong counterbalance. The company has demonstrated impressive growth in the private sector, which could help offset any potential government reductions. Additionally, with increased focus on AI-driven efficiencies in government operations, Palantir remains well-positioned to benefit from long-term technological investments regardless of short-term budget constraints. Welcome to our coverage of recent Palantir news, where the headlines of dramatic stock drops and sweeping defense cuts meet high-stakes insider moves. In the next few minutes, you'll learn exactly why these developments, despite initial alarm, could position Palantir for long-term growth. We'll break down the nuanced perspectives on how government spending cuts might actually drive efficiency and potentially create new opportunities for a company already experiencing robust AI-driven expansion. Stay with us as we explore every angle of these pivotal updates, ensuring you get a clear picture of the unfolding story. Palantir shares have been under pressure for some days after investors reacted negatively to the Trump administration's new 5-year plan to reduce defense spending by 8% per year, a policy change impacting roughly $290 billion in spending. Many fear this could mean fewer government contracts for Palantir, a company deeply integrated with federal projects. However, longtime Palantir advocate and Wedbush analyst Daniel Ives dismisses this concern as a knee-jerk overreaction. Ives points out that the same critics who swung wildly from extremely low to high valuations over the past 18 months are now clinging to a negative thesis, suggesting that the defense cuts spell doom for Palantir. Instead, Ives argues that the new disciplined spending environment at the Pentagon could actually work in Palantir's favor. He explains that as the government scrutinizes every line item, Palantir's unique software solutions and its high FedRAMP authorization, which permits its use across the entire U.S. government, even for highly sensitive workloads, position the company to secure additional IT budget allocations. Moreover, Ives notes that increased investments in AI, particularly under initiatives like Project Stargate, underscore a broader trend. Organizations are rapidly embracing strategic AI infrastructure. For Palantir, this means a potential multiplier effect on future growth. As he sums it up, the current sell-off represents noise amid a bright, AI-driven future, with the analyst even suggesting that the stock has the potential to reach $1 trillion market cap in the coming years. Is it possible that what appears as a setback is actually a strategic buying opportunity? How will government agencies recalibrate their spending priorities in response to these cuts? These are questions we'll keep in mind as we move forward. The key takeaway here is clear. Rather than fearing fewer contracts, investors might consider that Palantir is poised to benefit from enhanced efficiency measures in a reined-in defense budget environment. While Palantir's stock has recently faltered due to announced defense spending cuts, top analyst Dan Ives maintains a bullish stance, emphasizing the company's strategic position in a more efficient government spending environment. What do you think? Could this be a hidden buying opportunity? If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to the channel and else click on the like button. Your engagement helps us bring you more insights every week.